As you may recall from the introduction of the knapsack model, we defined the parameter n to avoid actually having to hard code the number 4 every place in the model where we needed it. This, however, will not solve the entire problem. What we would have to do if we want to run the model on multiple sets of data is actually cut out this piece of information and paste in new data. This does not automate very well, and it's also a method that is prone to error. We cannot just separate the entire data definition into its own separate file, because we would need some of this information to actually validate the model. What we can do instead is to separate the definition of the variable, integer n in this case, with the value that we initialize it with, in this case equals to 4. And we can instead set it equal to something that we do not define yet. We can also do the same for all of the other parameters for the problem. Like so. Note that this line needs no modification because it's already parameterized in n. Of course, we are still going to need a place to define our data, and for that we are going to need a data file. If you right click on your project, you'll get a drop down menu. In the top of that you'll find the item new, and under that you find the item data. Click that and you'll be prompted for a name. Of course, you can't see it on the screen right now. After you've chosen a name, you just press the finish button. Having now opened the file you just created, it should do that automatically, you will of course need to input the data. You do it like this: the name of the variable you're defining. Note, you do not need to specify the type here, you can't actually. So we are defining the n, the capacity, the price, and the weights, like this. And we save the file. If we go up into run configurations and create a run configuration, and well, let's call this knapsack. And if what you then just do is add your model file here and right click it, choose run this, what you'll see is that you'll have errors. And what it's basically telling you is that these parameters are actually undefined because we haven't yet told it to actually use the data file that we just created. To do this, also add the data file to the run configuration. After the data file has been added to the run configuration, you can right click it, choose run this, and now it works. Should you at a later point decide to run your model on another data file, it's as simple as replacing it here. Another way of creating data files is make them refer to an Excel document. That can be very convenient sometimes. It only works on Windows, unfortunately, if you have Word installed. The way you do it is make a sheet connection like this. This is the name of the Excel file. And then you specify the parameters you want to set. N from sheet read, specify the sheet up here. And then you choose from which named range to pull the data. If you want to, you can define your data in multiple DAT files and add them all to the run configuration. You just have to make sure that each of the parameters is defined exactly once. In general, you're expected to make this division of the model and the data when you are doing projects in our courses.